we're living in. So everything's competition, just even in nature.
Right.
You know, everything competes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so.
Yeah, I just think some people be in competition in the wrong ways, that's unnecessary.
Okay, but I know what you're saying. Yeah, as far as us as black men, and coming from, but you gotta take in consideration the environment we come from.
Okay.
We come out the hood. We come out the ghettos.
Right.
You know, so what they called the ghettos of America.
We
had to compete to get out of that situation, and some of us got so comfortable, with being in that environment. We just got sort of like coming from the South, right?
Right.
Dealing with slavery. We come out of Mississippi, Alabama, all these places where we used to working for little or nothing.
Yeah, heavy servitude.
Yeah, from sun up to sundown. With little working for pennies, man. Basically, I was watching documentaries on this last, a couple of days ago.
Right.
About Mississippi, man. It was just, man, I just be like, and I tell my girl, it's like, it's not that I don't hate white people.
Right.
I just understand their nature. Okay? And then when you watch, their history is written in blood. When you study their history is best qualified to reward one's research. So when you study history, it's going to tell you everything. You ain't got to be mad and hating. Just study the history.
Right.
And when I look at their history, man, I'm like, man, how can these people treat us like that? You know what I'm saying? And I was just like, man, they were some cold pieces. But
like you said, that's necessary to study it so you know how to go forward when you encounter certain situations. You know how to deal with it.
Right. And then you'll know how to you know how to face it when adversity is there. You know how to deal with it because you don't studied it.
Right.
And that's the best way to deal with, even in the society we live. We live in a capitalistic society. That's how this country got rich, off the backs of
other
man,
people.
Winner, you know what I'm saying? Which would happen to be the black man and the black woman. You know what I'm saying? This country got rich. At one time, cotton was at the height of its peak in the world. You know what I'm saying? It was, Mississippi and the Delta area produced the most cotton for the world. And guess who was the cotton pickers? Black man and woman and child. Okay. So when we so-called emancipated, we left those areas. We migrated, the mass majority of us migrated north, to the land of Lincoln. Because we thought that's where we was going to find freedom.
Past the Dixie line, Mason-Dixie line.
That we went, I went east, and some went west. But the bottom line was we was competing to get from that condition. Right. Get out of that condition. Yeah. And then a lot of the masses of us, the majority of us stayed. They really was like, shoot, where we gonna go? Well, ain't no place better
this all
than,
we know.
Than massa and this, that slave mentality. We were so conditioned, you know what I'm saying? We've been basically our mentally, spiritually, morally, we've been anathematized. We've been killed, destroyed mentally, spiritually, morally. That we like, this is all we know. There ain't no place better. Ain't nobody gonna treat us better than the master. And what we going, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so they stayed. A lot of people stayed, you know what I'm saying? Then a lot of us was forced to stay. Because once they so-called emancipated us, that's when all these night riders and all these white folks, started, the Klan and all these different organizations started to come about. Right. To put us back in check. You know what I'm saying? Real. And it didn't work, but that's what they did.
Now, Lisa Smith, she done commented. She said, is King Rychus taking questions?
Yeah.
Shoot your question out there. You got them. Matter of fact, I want to dive into one. Have you ever heard about when they talk about the inner earth and stuff like that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I heard. I was watching something on that. Actually, me and my girl was debating about heaven. Okay. Heaven and hell. Right? Yeah. And I said, you know how we've been stigmatized and taught all our lives about this hell is beneath this earth. Right. You know what I'm saying? And that once you go to hell, that you're gonna burn for eternity. It's basically 3 times hotter than the sun, and you're gonna burn for eternity and all that, right? And we talk that somebody's down there in a little red uniform jugging us and poking us, right, and all that type of torturing us, basically. Yeah. So we was debating about that. Then we watched this documentary that's basically was putting out that same propaganda. Okay. Right. Basically, that's what it is, propaganda. But if you can't enter this earth, see what I'm saying? There are was it Belize? There's a spot in Belize somewhere in South America. There's a few spots on this planet where it's like a cave. You can go into these caves into the earth, right? Where you can find the volcanoes. You know where the volcanoes are. And that's what they were doing. They was venturing into these caves where the volcanoes were. And it was like, man, it was interesting. You know what I'm saying? But as far as, but this, like the Mayans, yep. And down in South America, they had the spot where the Mayans made sacrifices and was throwing people in the volcanoes and whatnot. And stuff of that nature. So there is such as an inner earth, as far as these caves and whatnot, you can go into, you know what I'm saying, and get deep down, you know, into this planet, you know.
Now she done came back with a question. She said, seeing as how you know history, how do you feel about a righteous black man saying to procreate with a white woman, knowing how they are in their history?
Is she a black woman?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll repeat that.
Seeing as how you know history, how do you feel about a righteous black man? I guess that's like saying, so to speak.
Right.
But he procreates with a white woman. Like,
okay, I guess you could say it depends on how you define it. Righteous. What is she?
Reformulate that a little bit.
What do you mean by a righteous black man?
Or maybe one that proclaims to be so.
Because she could be saying conscious.
Yeah.
Or conscious or religious. See, it's a different.
Okay, she said he says he's woke. Okay.
They can hear me, right?
Yeah, they can.
They say he's woke. I hope so. No pun intended. If he's a black man too, is he black?
Yeah, he's a black man.
Well, I don't know. It depends on your preference, man. I guess, you know, I'm not really into telling people, you know, who they should be with and shouldn't be with, because I know love and feelings, you know, transcends geographical boundaries.
Okay.
Basically, you know, that'll be my take on that. But I would say, as far as us here in America, the black man and woman, I know we have been taught to think that, you know, our struggle is different. The black man and woman, that one should be greater than the other. But if you study our history, you know that we really are in this together.
Okay.
We got the same fight. You know what I'm saying? So, but
I'm thinking she's saying, is that misleading? Okay, if this person is speaking on like, you know, pro-black things and things the black man needs to do, but this is his jacket right here.
Exactly. Yeah, I was just about to say that. You know, but if he's saying he's conscious, if he's a conscious black man, I guess that's what he means by being woke. Then I guess it would be sort of like it could be sort of taboo or slap in the face to the black woman, because here's a black man saying he's conscious, but here he is with the opposition, someone who's basically was opposed to our rise. Not saying that woman that he's with in particular is, but just by her nationality and what she represents, as far as her being a Caucasian or a white woman, that's considered in this society privilege.
Okay.
You feel what I'm saying? So for a black man to cross over, that could be a slap in the face to his ancestors, to his mother, to his, who had to struggle, who had to fight against segregation, you know what I'm saying, and Jim Crow laws and all this. You know, your grandfather who was discriminated against through all this, who was hung and lynched from even looking at a white woman, and you know, or trying to speak. See, so yeah, that could be, you know, in contradiction to our struggle.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
So in that case, then how can a person of that stature lead then?
He can't.
Okay.
He can't. That's my point. You know what I'm saying? Because if he, you know, so by him doing that, that's in total opposition to what we really represent as a people. You know what I'm saying? So he's just really, what he's doing, he's miscegenating. He's, you know, that's when we integrate or mix with, you know, other races of people, we miscegenate where we fit in, or just basically trying to get by. We think it's easier for us as black men to get by if we get a woman of some other stature, instead of going through the struggle with our women. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, I don't condone it, but you know, teach his own.
Okay, now Master Builder said, but a real progressive black man is gonna say, come one, come all. That's the game.
Well, you're dealing with a different element of it. You know, when you say, yeah, you talking about the game now.
That's going.
A real player ain't gonna discriminate.
Okay.
Because of what? Just like what we was just building on. It's capital. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because when it's all said and done, green rules. It ain't about what colors this person. As long as we getting capital off of whatever it is we're doing. You know. So it ain't about their nationality.
Now, bro, I call him bro, came in and said, let's be real, Serena Williams is with a white guy and no one says anything. You came in this world alone, you'll leave alone. Learn to lead yourself and live life for yourself.
Okay, what was that? That was just a statement?
Yeah, I guess that's like a statement.
Yeah, it sounds good. I don't agree with that either.
Okay,
Serena Williams.
What's your thought on that?
Serena Williams. People are talking about it. That's not true. People have been speaking on that. Yeah. But it's just like, that's Serena Williams. She doing what she do. Okay. She became successful or whatever, and that's her preference. She chose. You know?
Yeah, because she's from Compton. She's right from the heart of the hood.
That's a straight up black woman. Right. Dad, mama, and all, you know? And it's just like, for her to go there, that would have been, you know, to me personally, I wouldn't have really, agreed with it if I was her father. Right. But, and I heard somebody say, marriage is almost like a business. You know, marriage is a business. It should be. You know, and I think that's one thing that was stripped from us. We were not taught the art of business. We wasn't taught the art of warfare, and we wasn't taught the art of mating. That's what was stripped from us as a people. Okay. Because if we really knew how to mate, you know, we would look at marriage and the people that we get with as a business. Yeah. First.
For position.
For position, a power. Oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Don't know well-to-do people and wealthy motherfuckers just send their kids off just to be with any old body. You feel me? They know who they gonna hook them up with. You know what I'm saying? Somebody just as affluent as they are.
Yeah, because you see a lot of practices over in India. You know, they align their families. So this family has this, and we're gonna arrange marriages. This is who you're gonna be with and things.
But look at us. We just run down the block and fall in love and you know what I'm saying?
Fall in love.
Yeah, fall in love. That's what I'm saying. Then end up married. And then have a hell of a problem. Hell problems, you know, for the next 10, 15 years of your life.
Okay, let's see. Master Builder came back. He said, I was saying a real conscious man will work with the white man and woman, just like our ancestors did. Marcus Garvey was funded by the KKK.
I don't know about all that. I ain't studied that. You know, I haven't never heard that. Okay. You know, but you know, that's another topic for another time. Okay. Yeah. So, by February, what I do know about the Negro Improvement Association, the UNI, Universal Negro Improvement Association, you know, that's Garvey's movement, is that I do know the people did fund him. You know, that it was a black organization. So I never heard me hearing that. I'm not, you know, debunking it or disputing it, but this is the first time I ever heard that. But I know he was it was a powerful organization. It was a powerful movement, but it was just brought down by an infiltrator, somebody that infiltrated, you know, the movement and allowed the government to come in and shut it down. Just like all our organizations, you know what I'm saying? That's always...
Okay, then he came back and said, I guess he's including Martin Luther King and he's including Malcolm X, basically being funded by the KKK. Then he said KKK funded the Black Star Line because they wanted blacks out too.
Okay. Well, you know, I'm pretty sure it's just like people donating, you know, giving charity, I guess, you know what I'm saying? I know in the Nation of Islam, they used to meet with a lot of the Aryan nations, but it's not because they was joining with them. Right. So, I mean, maybe they agree with their philosophy and was like, yeah, you know, y'all have y'all separate territory and we gonna have ours. And, you know, so if they did fund them, you know, it's capital. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know, the Nation of Islam had their own, you know, thing going. You know, the Klan, they did what they was doing in their areas. You know, so I don't know. You know, that's just
okay. So he came back and said, I'm not saying KKK funded Malcolm and Martin, but they work with whites. Yeah. That's what he's saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Yeah, they did.
And then bro came and said, you a genius. Indians don't let their kids marry anyone. They investigate the family first.
Exactly. And he ran another of our organization, the Black Panther Party, which was one of the most, you know, powerful. It was considered a threat to national security back in its prime.
Yeah.
You know, the Black Panther Party for self-defense. You know, they worked with a whole bunch of different groups too.
Right.
There was even White Panthers. Little did what people know. You know, they worked with the Asians. You know, the China, everybody, the Hispanics. There was all types of people that was working with the Panther Party. You know what I'm saying? But they were such a threat because it was one of the fastest growing organizations in America that the FBI under J. Edgar Hoover at the time considered it a threat to national security.
Right.
See, because they were policing the police.
You
see what I'm saying? Which we consider was a fascist, you know, organization.
Right.
You know, that was like a army, occupying armed force in communities in the black.
Essentially, that's where the slave catchers came from.
You know, so they worked against that.
Right.
So they had to shut that down. So they formed a program called the Counterintelligence Program, which they put infiltrators inside these organizations and divided them and broke them up. See, because little do we know, before the Biggie, you know, the Bad Boy and Death Row beef, the East Coast, West Coast beef came about. This one was happening in the 60s with the Black Panther Party. They created an East and West Coast beef with the Panther parties. And they caused division while Huey P. Newton was locked up. And then they started infighting amongst each other, and eventually they was able to shut it down, bring it down, you know.
Now, he came back and said NOI works with Scientology.
Yep, sir.
Yes, and then he said real talk, and he said you right on point. And he said yes, and he said also the CIA about that situation.
Right. I know that, and that's really. I mean, I studied the Nationism, like, you know, I've studied that, man. I've been involved, been around Farrakhan, you know, been around them organizations and been in these meetings. Yeah. And that really spent me, you know, because when Farrakhan got hooked up with Ron L. Hubbard, that's the head of Scientology. Yeah. And it was talking about Dianetics, and brothers need to be, you know, do their little diagnosis and all that type of stuff. Yeah. And but I'm thinking to myself, well, if Elijah Muhammad was the messenger of God, as they say of Allah, and this is the ultimate truth, then we shouldn't need nothing else. So why are you sending the people to the Scientology, the Church of Scientology? You know, and to get, you know, diagnosed and you know, but he felt it'd help us and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, you know, something ain't right with this. You know, now I did some more research and come to find out that Minister Farrakhan did receive a check. They said he got $10,000 for the people he was sending over there to the church. Yep, that's why I heard from some of the other members of the Nation of Islam. So yeah, I agree. I agree. Yeah, it's deep, man. Yeah, you know, it ain't, you know, what somebody's telling you. The question is what they're not telling you. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's true. When you join these organizations, you know, I'm just old enough, mature enough now to dissect, you know, to read in between the lines. That's what anything. You know what I'm saying?
See, I think that's another thing that needs to be stressed. People need to read in between the lines. Yep. They take everything for face value and don't seek out the part that's not being said.
Exactly. And that's why even with the brothers here, I've been knowing the brothers for years. The brothers that's in the Nation of Islam, they know me. You know, they know I'm 100. They know I'm a real nigga. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I know what they know. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like they try to pull the okie doke on you. I'm like, you can't do that on me. You got to do that to those that don't know what you talking about. See what I'm saying? Yeah. That's because they know I don't study, and I'm reading in between the lines. You know what I'm saying? So I know a clown when I see one, basically. Okay. You know, so yeah, you gotta be true to yourself, man, first and foremost.
Now, you can speak on that too, because a lot of people follow. You don't have to be big head organizations, but they follow someone that they feel is leading them to a path that give them greater clarity. But just like old girl, Lisa Smith said, basically, this person professing this, but he's living like this. You got to look at certain things. Like, okay, they're saying this, but they're doing something else. How can I point that out? The unseen things,
Well, I would say on that, we all got certain levels of development. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's just like where we at now at this point, you know what I'm saying? a year or 2 years, you know, I wasn't at this level.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I wasn't interviewing and, you know, talking to folks, you
right.
know, with all, you know, the knowledge or the wisdom and understanding I have. That's just something I wasn't doing. Right. So I'm at a certain level now. You feel me? But prior to this, 5-10 years ago, you know, I've been studying, research. From my level of understanding now, this is where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? And how I roll in society is just how I roll because of my experience. See, now I may teach someone or share what I know to those that don't know in a way for you to understand it. In other words, I gotta talk or speak your language.
Right.
If I feel you're at a certain level, I can't, you know, speak astrophysics to somebody who's just basically dealing with basic English. You know what I'm saying? Right, in that sense. You know, or I can't speak Spanish to somebody who speaks Chinese. You feel what I'm saying? So I gotta speak to you. We gotta deal with people on a level. So you may be more advanced than the average person.
Right.
But you can't. These people might just be learning the fundamentals. So are you going to give them advanced teaching?
Right. That ain't gonna see you can't.
You gotta give them the fundamentals, even though you're advanced. You feel what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, so people are going to judge you. They're going to be like, oh well, he's like, of course, because you're not where I'm at.
Right.
Of course I'm like this, because I reached a certain level in my life where I can express myself a certain way, not just saying, you know, that whatever is right or wrong or whatever, but it's just, you know, that's for God to judge us, because we live our life a certain way. But for the next person gonna see us, or people in society, you know, when they see us, yeah, they expect a certain persona. They expect you to be a certain way, especially if you tell them or you are teaching them a certain thing.
You're professing a certain
if you're professing, then they expect you to present yourself in that manner. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, that's just like a grand master, just like going back to that. A grand master ain't gonna show the students everything. He's gonna teach them what they need to know.
Yeah, at that particular moment.
He knows what they need to know. You know what I'm saying? And it's real simple. I used to box. Okay, I'm using this analogy.
Okay.
When I used to box Golden Glove as a child, right? I went to the gym, even though I had the heart to box, to get in the ring and put on the gloves and, you know, go toe to toe with somebody, all that, right?
Right.
I still had a coach.
Yeah.
He was teaching me the fundamental stuff I never knew. I didn't know nothing about no jab or a boxing stand. Yeah, getting a boxing stand.
Right.
Jab, you know, do a combination. That was a coach. He knew, he watched me as a youngster and said, this is what you got to do. And he worked the pass with me.
Right.
Right. Now that I'm an OG, what I do, I went to the Northside gym over there, right? Over there off of James.
Yeah.
Seen this little shorty, just amazed me, man. He had a style like Mayweather. He's like, what was he like? I think he was like 11 or 13. He was like 13.
Okay.
A little short little dude.
Yeah.
He had this real unique style. You seen Mayweather box, right? He was just like Mayweather, man. Yeah, I was like, man. And I'm thinking back, so I had to go back to when I was that age. You know, when I started boxing, I'm like, damn, I was like, he just had a natural talent. It's just like I had to learn. You know what I'm saying? And I was watching him, I was like, He just had that natural, and I was just watching how he's fight. He could fight, you know. So I basically, when I got him to the side, I said, let's work the pass. See, now I'm an OG. I don't box, Golden Glove, you know what I'm saying, and whatnot. So I was like, here, this is what you need to work on. I didn't tell him to change his style or none of that. I said, work on the fundamentals. You feel what I'm saying? Yep. Even though I know combinations up, but I was like, he got a good little style of himself. But I was like, here, do this, do that. You see what I'm saying? And this is how that style you got. This is how you defend yourself. You know what I'm saying? Tell them how to roll. You know, if you're gonna keep your hands a certain way, use your shoulder to like you feel stuff like that. Yeah. You know, and it was like, and it's real. So basically, you gotta teach a person just like a baby. You can't feed a baby solid food.
No,
you gotta give them, gotta give them liquidated food. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if I really answered the question, but
you did.
Yeah, you know.
Now bro came and said, do you believe reading between the lines is our art of war we need to teach our people?
Oh, most definitely, man. Yeah, that's man. It's like, because one thing we have to understand as black men in this society, we're living in America. Now, if you understand the history of America, you know, we are really captives. We haven't never really been emancipated. Right. You know what I'm saying? We've been so-called free. You're right. But we really was let go, because in the Constitution states that slavery has been abolished, except for what?
Convicted felon.
Convicted felon. Man, it's over 2 million black men incarcerated in this country. America has the most incarcerated people in the world. And they say that 80% of the prison population is who? Us.
Yes.
Come on, man. And it's just like, there's this book out. I'll say this. By Michelle Alexander.
Okay.
That's her name. It's called The New Jim Crow. I would recommend that book.
Okay.
Right, on that topic alone. But yes, definitely we got to read in between the lines because we're behind enemy lines. Okay. So like if you watch the news or read the newspaper, you're really being misinformed.
Right.
Okay. But if you don't watch it, you don't read the paper, you're uninformed. Okay, because you don't know what's going on. See, but that's why if you watch it and you read the paper, you got to read in between the lines. You got to add what you know, and you got to think about what they're not telling you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. So we definitely it's almost like it's a strategic. You know, we got to be strategic about how we move in this society. You know what I'm saying?
Now, Master Builder came back and said a conscious black man still conscious with a white woman if he is playing it right.
Yeah, I mean, your conscience is just your mentality. It's not about basically who we dealing with. You know, as far as a relationship,
right?
You can have any type of relationship with anybody. It ain't just a Caucasian. You know what I'm saying? You can have an Asian. You can have a native. You know what I'm saying? A Mexican. You know what I'm saying? You can have a variety of women. You know, depends on your preference and what you're able to get. That doesn't make you any less conscious. Shouldn't, unless that woman dictates the way you think. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, you still who you are. A tiger can't change his stripes.
Right.
A leopard can't change his spots. You know what I'm saying?
Then he came back and said, the high priest gonna only teach an initiate.
He's gonna do what?
The high priest is only gonna teach an initiate.
What's that?
Basically, you know, someone that's trying to be initiated into the priesthood. You know, someone that's lower. That not. How can a high priest teach another high priest? It's basically someone that's interested in know your program or what you're trying to do.
Well, that's with anything.
Right.
That's with anything, man. Like if you go to the church, the Israelite Church of God in Christ, if you're interested in what they're teaching, yeah, you're gonna have a high priest that's gonna be teaching you, and the elders. You're gonna have elders. You're gonna have generals and sergeants and whatever they, rank they have.
Right.
They're gonna teach. They're gonna teach those who are interested. You know, you're right. You know, you join the Nation of Islam. You come in as a student. You're going to have captains and lieutenants. You're going to have, those ministers and whatnot that's going to teach you. Like, this is what you got to do if you want to be a part of it. So that's with anything. You know, if a woman come into your life, what you going to show her? What you going to teach her?
Right.
It's the same thing. You got to teach her how your rules, your regulations, how you do things, you know what I'm saying? She got to learn that.
Right.
That's just, like my woman, the woman I just been with for, 2 years.
Right.
She had to learn me. Okay?
Right.
It's the same. It has to be order. That's if you a man and you like order. If you just a man, just like your woman, just do whatever. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then then you become the student.
Now, tell me this, because I think you need to break down on this. Like you said, order. You know, a lot of people feel they can't pull the trigger on, well, if I say this, she might be like this, or they've been letting her do whatever, and then they're like, well, how can I get her to stop doing this? But steadily allowing that kind of stuff because you scared, because you might lose her or something.
Because some men, some boy, or I would say, I'm gonna rephrase that. Some boys haven't become men.
Okay.
I would put it in that perspective. If a man, and that's not, I don't want to sound chauvinistic.
Yeah.
You feel me? 'Cause I know a lot of people might think, like, because a man, should be in charge of his household, the head of his household. But any religious structure, and they ain't trying to just, throw religion on nobody. Whether you read the Bible, the Quran, or whatnot, they would tell you, God is the head of man, man is the head of the household. It's order.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's just the way it's been ordained. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's the natural order of things. Man, woman, and child. You know what I'm saying? If you have a family structure, and that man naturally would be the head. Not saying that that woman don't have any say so, but if that woman honors and respects her man, yeah, she gonna let that man be a man.
Right.
But if she don't respect him, she gonna treat him like a little boy. She gonna treat him like he's her son.
Yeah.
And she's gonna tell him what to do.
Like he's submissive.
Exactly.
Like,
so if he's not man enough to deal with that or check that or regulate that, then he becomes, you know, secondary but most necessary.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, and the man becomes diminished as, you know, from a man to a little boy.
Yeah, boy male.
Exactly. You know, so,
not a man.
So yeah, so that's why we gotta, as men, we gotta, you know, be more responsible. You know what I'm saying? As men, you know, we gotta take care of our business, handle our function, so these women don't disrespect us.
Right.
You know,
bro came in and said, slaves were not freed; they were fired. Nellie Fuller Jr. said it. And let me see. And Anthony English said, "What it do, Reek? And what's up, King Rychus? Salute."
Yo, peace.
And what's up, Larry? And Anthony English said, "Flowing and glowing, flow and glow." Said, "Real spill, what you been laying down."
Right.
So any areas that y'all think that, you know, we didn't touch on, you know, speak on it. I know some of y'all been kind of commenting between each other, but been on for a good 32 minutes.
Right.
Been some good science dropped.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, man, there's a lot going on in this world. You know, we living in a crazy world.
Matter of fact, what do you think about all these you know, they're showing videos of, you know, people calling the police on people over like little mundane things. Like I seen one white guy called the police on a woman because she was using too many coupons or something like that.
Yeah, they talking about, all the people calling on black folks.
Yeah.
They call, I seen the one where they called the police on this boy that's mowing the lawn.
Yeah, mowing the lawn.
Girl that's selling, you know, lemonade or something.
And then there was one recently, I guess something about a lady. Oh, hold on, this is one thing. Hold on a second, yo.
Yeah.
What's up, y'all? Old school up here.
Hey, Rick,
you know.
I'll let y'all keep rolling.
All right.
All right?
Yep.
Put your window up,
Yes, sir.
brother.
All right, bro.
All right.
Yeah, he had dreads the last time.
I think his
right.
hair was all out wild. Yeah. Okay, we back, y'all. That was, you know, that was old school. Y'all be hearing them on here every now and then. Oh, you up out of here, Anthony? I see you say peace, peace. Oh, he said, Larry said, what do you think about Floyd and 50 Cent? The beef they've been having.
No, that's just hype, man.
Yeah,
yeah. Two rich niggas with money talking shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, you know. But I will say something about Pac and La Hoya been going back at it, back and forth.
Okay.
They talking, De La Hoya talking about coming out of retirement to fight McGregor. Yeah, I think that should be interesting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, but De La Hoya, he ain't no, he may be an OG, but he ain't no man, you know, and McGregor, but that's another big money event. You know what I'm saying? Them two get them big names.
Yeah.
You know, this would be Mayweather or McGregor's second professional fight.
Right.
Against two big names. You know what I'm saying? And
so who you think will be favored in that lineup if it happens?
De La Hoya.
Okay.
Yeah, De La Hoya, of course. You know, because he don't had over 50-something fights. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
He's a professional. He's real, you know, he's skilled at that. But McGregor, they say he still got that hand, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, that'll be a big money deal for him, though, you know.
Yeah, Anthony English said exactly, King Rychus.
Right. You know, because he was definitely hating when Floyd had that big event going on in Vegas. You know, De La Hoya was mad as hell. You know, that Mayweather Promotions was behind that. You know what I'm saying? You know, so this will be his chance to get his hand in the cookie jar. You know what I'm saying? Basically.
Right.
So.
Now, what's your standing on, like, say, like the UN type stuff and how they operate throughout the world? Is it for a benefit, or is it for, you know, another type of plan that, you know, people are not, you know, really seeing?
Yeah, you know? It's definitely, that's a covert, you know, operation. It's like a secret government.
Okay.
Yeah, the UN ain't really, you know, they're in cahoots with, you know, the world governments, you know, like NATO, you know, all these different, you know, governments, and it's all about global control.
Yeah.
You know, so they're not really here to help folks at all. They just, you know, they don't solve nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's just really about, you know, total control of the, you know, and getting usurping the minerals out these different countries. You know what I'm saying? The gold, the oil, you know, and stuff of that nature. You know what I'm saying? What they need. You know, and the UN is just behind that to back, you know, back up, you know, the world superpowers. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I think you just summed it up right there. What that's really about.
That's some other stuff too. See, now the stuff I'm spitting just off the dome. This is just from me just being informed on things, you know. So don't believe me. Go research it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Go look it up.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You're gonna be like, damn. You know,
Yeah, so that's why I like you give them the starter pack to be okay. Now you go and follow up on it.
If you're interested in certain things, look into it. The information is there. We got all this technology. We walk around with a computer every day. And it's called a cell phone.
Right.
That's a computer. Okay. You can do whatever you want on the phone. Google anything, punch up, get on YouTube, all that. Okay. Yeah.
Now, Lisa Smith done came and said, you study history. How do you feel about the boule?
I don't really study history.
Okay.
You're gonna rephrase that. You know, how can I define that? Like we was talking about, watching the news, reading the newspaper.
Okay.
I like information. I don't necessarily study history, but like, there's certain things if I'm interested in, I'll look into.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So, like history, I study black history.
Yeah.
It'd be like, I'm just studying every damn thing.
Yeah.
I don't do that.
About the Romans, the Greeks.
I don't do all that. You know what I'm saying? But I do study black history.
Okay.
I would say that. Right. The boule, what's that?
It's like I want to say like a fraternity, a black fraternity.
I'm not too familiar with it. Right. You know, so yeah, I mean, I touched on broad ways of topics, but I don't know everything. For real. Straight up. I ain't too ashamed to say that. That's because I collect, or I listen to everything. I watch a lot of different stuff.
Yeah.
I read the newspaper. I catch briefings.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But that's just not. It's not going to fully inform you. If the news is just briefings. Okay, they don't give you the full story. You know what I'm saying? You read the newspaper, you'll get a little bit more. More of the story or whatever from another perspective, from the writer or the editor, or whatever. You know
that makes me think back to that little clip that they had with Denzel when he said, if you read the newspaper, you're misinformed. If you don't read it,
you're uninformed.
Yeah, you're
exactly.
uninformed.
Right. So, but he didn't tell you what to do. he just threw that out there.
Yeah.
But what he did say, so, but if you read it, even if you misinformed, so whatever information you read outside or you have learned outside of reading the newspaper that you know of those topics, you can fill in the blanks.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? And whatever they're telling you, and whatever you have studied or researched in your life and in history, you can fill in the blanks. You can say what they're not telling you because they only gave you briefings.
Yeah.
Or news clip, you know, a 5-minute clip of this and 2-3 minute clip of that. You know what I'm saying? So you can say, well, this is what they're saying about this.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Now, Anthony English said, that's how I be King Rychus. And then Lisa Smith said, a bunch of black fraternities who pick and choose who's is chosen. Like, I guess, as far as like who's gonna be newscaster, or who's gonna you know be, you know, not so much a newscaster, but like they're in these certain fields and they let certain people get in on certain areas, you know, certain I guess whatever comes with whatever industry that they may be predominantly in, or whatever. They're like the gatekeepers, you might as well say.
Well, you know, I guess, you know, in saying that, you know, like as far as sororities and fraternities and all that type of stuff, it's that's the way the society is. It's not really so much what you know, it's who you know. There you go. You know what I'm saying? So that's how they work. You know what I'm saying? So if you connected and you got your, you know, your foot in the door, you know, to certain, you know, powerful groups or whatnot, yeah, they got connections, you know, to the corporate world, and they can get you in. You feel me? Just like I had a lady friend some years ago who I didn't know her son actually, you know, he played for Augsburg College, and then she pulled some strings, and then he ended up playing for the Lakers for the 3 years that they won the championship. That was from 2000 to 2003, I believe. Yeah. They pulled some strings to get him on that team because he wasn't all that. You know
okay.
He was just, he is who she knew.
Oh, okay.
And he got a plug. He got to the Lakers. He got him 3 rings. He was the shadow of Kobe. Yeah. So I mean, you probably, who was the backup for Kobe besides Lou? Remember Lou and Devin Jordan?
Okay.
Yeah. So. Yeah, that was Devin. So he didn't really get that much time. He got in, you know, simultaneously, but he got him 3 rings. So it wasn't really about his skill in basketball, and he was doing high flying 360 dunks and none of that. It was about he knew somebody knew somebody, got him on the squad, so he was connected. You feel what I'm saying? So yeah, you know.
Now say this. Do you think that's a discouragement to people that's really trying to, you know, work their hardest to get at a certain position, and you know, it's people that got connections where they don't need any kind of talent, you know what I'm saying?
Not at all. Not at all. It can't be a discouragement, because if you want something bad enough, you're gonna shoot for the stars.
That's true.
You're gonna take off like, you know, the space shuttle, you know what I mean? And try to get to your destination.
Right.
You know, and it's just like, now in saying that, the flip side of that is, now you check the statistics as far as the kids, you know, coming out of high school, the average kid that plays basketball all their life, all the way through high school, right? Get on the varsity squad, go to state, and all that. How many kids in America or throughout that gets to the college level? You know what I'm saying? You got to check the stats on that. Half these kids don't even make it to the collegiate level. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then you got all these collegiate, you know, the cats is playing and trying to get where? In the NBA. You know what I'm saying? And that's, you know, thousands of them, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And what I've learned, only about 30-something, a very small percentage of even that can make it to the NBA. Okay? From the draft. You know what I'm saying? Now, you'll be lucky if you just get, you know, go to the basketball camp and, you know, and be able to just walk on a team or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Somebody just pick you up on a humbug. But yeah, it's a very small percentages of people who even make it to these levels. So it's not even so much about, you know what I'm saying, well, you know, somebody, you know, pulls, you know, no, you got to make a name for yourself. You got to bring the best out of you. You know what I'm saying? And you just got to shine. And that goes back to what we were talking about earlier, competition. That's what it all comes down to. Yeah. And what I've learned about Jordan, you can listen to all these people who were around Michael Jordan, right? Right. And they talk about him like Cooper and all them cats from North Carolina. They used to tell stories about Michael Jordan, even in college, how he didn't like to lose, doing nothing. Like, you could be playing a game of checkers, nigga didn't want to lose. Yeah, for real. And they said that's the type of drive and attitude Michael Jordan had, and that showed when he got to where the professional level. See, when he got that chance, got drafted. Look what Jordan evolved to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Who was that played with Jordan? He was real popular too. He played the Lakers. That played with North Carolina. That y'all know if you remember. The year that Jordan played in college. I don't know. I'm about to pull it up. I'll pull it up. But yeah. But anyway, I think it was not Sam Perkins. One of them cats that played for the Lakers. I'm gonna Google it. But yeah, I'm just saying though. But as far as to answer your question, like if you got that drive, and to win, no, you're going. That's what you're gonna do by all means. I mean, I know some cats like that just coming up that just hated to lose, would cry and run off with the ball and all that type of shit. Because they didn't want to lose.
Okay, you got. I'm gonna go to your other questions. I think I'm gonna shoot right to this one. He said, "How about that veteran player that just got picked up by the Lakers last season?"
Veteran player. Who was that?
LeBron.
We talking LeBron?
Yeah.
That's what you talking about?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I think you're talking about.
Well, LeBron James, he basically done changed the game when it comes to marketing.
Okay.
Yeah, he done changed it. He did that once he left Cleveland. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because his name, and who he is. You know what I'm saying? He's like, man, he left Cleveland and went down to Miami and did what? Got him a championship ring. You know what I'm saying? So now he changed that for a lot of other big name cats. Like, hey, y'all can do it too. I did it, you can do it.
Right.
So that's what they started doing it. They started getting the hooking these teams up like to be a big, a super squad. So you feel what I'm saying?
Yep.
And LeBron, you gotta take your hats off to him for that. You see, but now that he did what he played out his time in Cleveland. So basically, like, man, if anything, he's gonna end his career as a Laker. I mean, I don't know. He's just like he's on the West. He in Hollywood now. Come on, now he ain't in Akron, Cleveland, Ohio. He in Hollywood.
Right.
So the ticket sales and all that is just going skyrocket.
Yeah,
everything. His jersey sales. So it's big business, man. It's big business. So Magic Johnson, he know what he's doing.
Yeah, Anthony said, facts, King Rychus.
Hey, man, I'm just saying, I'm just speaking what I see, man. Well, what I see and what I read,
Then let me go back to some of the things he said.
What year did Michael Jordan play for the North Carolina?
Wikipedia. After winning the Naismith and the Wooden College Player of the Year awards in 1984, Jordan left North Carolina 1 year before his scheduled graduation to enter the 19...
Let me see. Let me back up.
83, 84.
Oh, and then Anthony said, to those I will say, don't be discouraged. Where there's a will, there's a way. When the student's ready, the teacher appears.
Kenny Smith. Right. Remember Kenny Smith? He a sports announcer.
Okay.
Now. But yeah, he played with Jordan back then too, right?
Okay.
But it was Sam Perkins. You remember Sam Perkins? He played with Magic in that.
Yeah.
That was him. He was basically saying, he said, he was like, yeah, I was better than Jordan, for about a week. Sam Perkins was cold too. He was like, yeah. And then he realized he the one was telling the story. It was about how this dude hated to lose. He was like, that's just the drive he had. Coming up in the 80s, you had to be a raw player just to play in that era, you know, because it was more physical.
Right.
You know, they didn't call all them fouls.
Yeah,
like you could box somebody out and all that, but now you can barely touch somebody. You know, so right, you can't be discouraged about, you know, the next man.
Now, as far as that with the gang going that way, do you think that's more in Vegas, is the sports books advantage now that they got the game where they can slow it down like that?
It's all money, man. It's all big business. Yeah, we was just talking about it before we got online, baby. You know, capitalism. That's what this bottom line, what it comes down to, man. Business, you know, entrepreneur is capital. You know, big bank take little bank type thing. You know what I'm saying? And we just can't escape that. That's the reality we live in, this society. We live in a capitalistic society. You know what I'm saying? And all this other, you know, BS they talking, I mean, it is, politics is politics.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But it's really about global hegemony. Who's going to control the world? That's what they really, you know, coming down to now. If they feel you're going to be in either you're going to be in cahoots, you know, with the program, basically. But if you're not with the program, oh, you best believe they're going to move you around. I don't give a damn who you is.
Right.
Yeah, if you're not with the program, as far as global hegemony and taking over and dominating, you know, certain regions like what's going on in the so-called Middle East with Jerusalem and all that, and Iraq. And
Syria and all that.
That's about oil, man. You know, hey, y'all don't believe me, look it up.
Right.
I already looked. They said the real problem with that, what's going on there, because they want to build this pipeline going through Syria and Russia and getting to Europe so they all can have a piece of this. This is what it all comes down to, man. And if we have to kill 50 million and 100 million motherfuckers to get our point across,
we'll do it and then call it collateral damage.
Yeah, we gonna do it. So I'm telling you, we gotta knock a president out the box just because he in the way. They'll do it, man. So come on, and they did it to Gaddafi. Yeah, they did it to Saddam Hussein. Come on, man. Yeah, I be watching. I'm like, boy, this shit's for real.
Anthony English said, "Animal ambition."
Yeah, they killed 50 million people in Libya, man. Innocent people.
Now,
just to get Gaddafi out the way.
This dude, John Perry, said, "Righteous, this is tight, daddy."
What up, homie? Long time no hear from.
And then Anthony English came back and said, "Yeah, right. Capitalist society, right."
Is this tight daddy from Florida?
Yeah, he said, "What's good?"
Okay. Oh man, you know I'm still here. God, good man. See how law works? You know what I'm saying? You run, but you can't hide.
He said Jayville.
Yeah. I ran into your son, man. Dollar Bill. That boy done got big.
He said, "I see you."
Huh?
He said, "I see you."
Yeah. Yeah, I ran into little Dollar Bill, man.
So this thing tuning in.
That's what's up.
The people's going on. He said he told me.
Right. You gotta reach out and touch me, man. We gotta tone and reconcile our differences. You know what I'm saying? Farrakhan said we need atonement.
Okay, Anthony English said resources, guns, butter, oil, money. Yeah. That's what they have. Then he said, "I got you, P."
That's right. Right. You know, we all have our issues, man. You know what I'm saying? I definitely don't have mine. You know what I'm saying? And shit, you know. And like my man Tight Daddy, we shared the struggle. You know what I'm saying? We shared that struggle throughout the, some last 10, 15 years, man.
Okay.
And it's real. And I just say that. You know. I say it's real.
Let's see, okay, Tight Dad came back and said, black people main problem is we gotta work together.
Yeah. Most definitely. We definitely need to work together.
Yeah, everybody wants to be the chief, and nobody wants to be the little Indian.
I mean, but that's going to be a challenge in itself, though. Because of like we were saying, the level, all the different levels we're on. You see, and our level of understanding of what the struggle is about. You know what I'm saying? And everybody want to go a different route. You know, we're trying to get to that same destination, but everybody want to take a different, different route. You know what I'm saying? I want to go my route. You know, I want to go the Hebrew Israelite way. I want to go the Muslim way. I want to go the Christian way.
So we all got to play our parts.
Right. You know, and but as far as uniting for that one common cause, that's the real challenge for us. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, Rashad came in and said, we got to stop killing each other and work together. They don't want to do that. Then Lisa Smith said, that's where the boule comes in at, because they are not on our side.
Yeah,
I can say that because you always hear people say African Americans, and then some people say blacks, and then some people, it's those type of divisions, you know.
That's what I'm saying, you know, that we're so divided mentally, it's even spiritually, morally, you know, we don't know, we don't lost we can't forget that once our ancestors, our forefathers was brought here, they was robbed of their names, their language, their religion, their culture, their God, their folkways, their norms. We turned inside out, upside down. Just made to think what was right was wrong, what was wrong was right. We already had customs when we was in the motherland. We had the languages. We had our ideologies and whatnot. We come from our tribal, villages and whatnot. You see what I'm saying? Now we can't forget. This is what we feel to remember or to study. That it was the Africans, these African chiefs, like you mentioned, the chief. It was these chiefs and these heads of these villages who captured certain Africans and sold us to the Europeans, who sold us to the Arabs. You know what I'm saying? And the Europeans set up slave posts, and they put us, up for auction, even on the continent.
Right.
It was Africans that did it. We've always been tribal. We are a tribal people, not just here in America. It was more on a broader scale when we was on the continent. You see what I'm saying? Because it was about what? It was about control or economics. You know what I'm saying? With the Arabs, enslavement of Africans wasn't as brutal as the Europeans. You know what I'm saying? It was more for conquest than it was for capital. The Europeans was for capital. And when they was like, we could use these niggas in Europe, to make Europe. And that's how Europe got rich from the slave trade in Africa. You know what I'm saying? When the Arab conquest, they conquered Africa just to take control over it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Not to just so much in brutal, for the capital gain of it.
Right.
It was different. I can't really explain it the way I really want to right now. But yeah, it was two different levels of conquest. You know what I'm saying?
Tight Daddy said, yes, it was P. Yes, it was P. Them Arabs still dirty.
Yeah, ain't no question. No, I ain't giving them no slack. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, but the way they enslaved, when they conquested Africa, when they invaded North Africa, because I was just watching this, man, and it was to conquer, but the Arab slave trade was not the slave trade, but when they enslaved Africans, it was brutal. You know what I'm saying? And they're still like that today. Yeah, he right about that. You know what I'm saying? But the death blow was dealt with the Europeans. The death blow was dealt, on the transatlantic slavery. Yeah. When our voyage from Africa across the waters, and when we got here, to the Americas. That's where the death blow was dealt. 400 or 500 years ago. Yeah. Okay. So that's why this judgment here in America is going to be, more severe dealing with these Edomites or these Europeans than any place, because of us here, the 40, 50 million so-called Negroes.
And then Tight Daddy came back and said they took all of Yemen and Sudan.
Yeah. He right. He right. Exactly.
Then Anthony English came back and said game can be ran easily, especially on someone who doesn't know or know themselves.
Exactly. Well, Marcus Garvey said it best. History is best qualified to reward one's research, and a person who doesn't know his history is like a tree without roots. Okay. And if you see a tree, if that tree didn't have roots, it'll be what? It'll be dead.
Yeah,
okay.
Sure would
but
be.
we know what's beneath that ground is stronger. Is probably the roots are shooting just as far down as the tree is standing up high.
Yep.
You feel me? That's how strong. That's what makes it strong. And when the wind blows, it won't blow it over because it's alive.
Right.
And it's strong. And it's standing on that. It's roots.
As above, so below.
Right.
Yeah, and then Anthony English said, he said facts. He's talking to JP or Tight Daddy. Let me see. Anthony English said, in one town city, we don't want to look at each other, and the next time we hating on some crabs in a bucket type shit. I guess, our people in certain areas, be like this over here or like this over there.
Right. So this goes all across America?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is all across the globe.
Okay.
I've got people over in Italy listening
like
too.
That. All right.
So.
Right.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I had people chime in from Alaska, chime in from Australia, all over the globe.
Right.
So they tuning in. And Lisa Smith said, skin folks ain't always your kin folks.
Oh, ain't no question. Yeah, every brother ain't a brother. Because his color just as well as be undercover. You know?
Let me see. I know I don't, since it ain't no video, I don't like to have no dead air. Let me see what, if I missed any of y'all's questions or comments or statements. Let me see. Anthony said her Jayville is, be lit, litty. Be lit.
Who are you talking to?
I think he's talking to Tight Daddy. Then I guess he said he didn't want to get down to Jayville. He passing through the way down I-95. Let's see. Oh, what's up, Joe Frank? See you done chimed in. Who's all still in the room? I ain't heard nothing back from who was commenting? The Master Builder, and you still in here, bro? Ain't heard you come in and say anything. I know a lot of times people just be sitting back listening too.
Right.
Okay, Tight Daddy says, so how y'all feel about the Trump attacks?
Trump attacks.
Yeah.
I don't feel no way about Trump is dead. He already know the answer to that. Trump is Trump, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That motherfucker is about money, man. That's Trump, man. Shit. But I'll say like Farrakhan say, he was like, man, if we vote for Trump, if Trump get in office, he's gonna lead America into hell in a rocket ship. You know what I'm saying? And we on our way. Shit.
Okay, Tight Daddy came back and said, we gotta pee on coal. Look what's happening in Oakland.
What happened in Oakland?
The riots they got going because that
in Oakland?
that girl that got stabbed in the off the BART train or whatever by white supremacists or whatever.
It was in Oakland?
Yeah.
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah.
No, when did that happen?
Shoot, this is about maybe a couple 3 days ago, something like that.
What white supremacists did?
Yeah, or one.
Well,
He stabbed her or whatever. Stabbed her off the BART system or whatever.
Was that just a random attack?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, them niggas in Oakland, man. If you know about Oakland the way I know about Oakland, they gonna ride.
Yeah.
That's a hyphy town. You feel me?
And then Tight Dad came back and said they purge on black people every day.
Oh, ain't no question, man. And I was just about to mention. It's funny. Yeah, Tight Daddy. He got a lot of knowledge, man. I know Tight.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
There's a lot of symbolic symbols in there. Yeah, that's what this shit is about. Then go on YouTube and watch this documentary about Global Purge. After you watch that movie, I recommend it, brothers and sisters, go see that movie because it's a black director. I think 80% of the cast is black.
Okay.
And see that, look for the signs and symbols in it. You know what I'm saying? Because it was the police that was walking around, they had the Gestapo symbols, the swastikas on their arms and whatnot. And then they showed the church, the people how they killed them folks in the church and all that. Then go on YouTube and watch and punch in Global Purge and see how the U.S. government is. This is what they're planning. See, it's all symbolic. You see,
I have to make note of that myself right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I got your movie back there too. That Gaddafi one.
Yeah.
Right.
Let me see.
Yeah, so you're right. You're definitely right. But that's just like somebody do something to my family, right? I mean, everybody gonna deal with shit differently because we're on different levels. Some people ain't gonna ride. You know what I'm saying? If someone do something to my daughter, if I got buried, or my kids, or my niece, or whatever, and I know it was a racial attack, then it's like, they don't tell how I'm gonna retaliate. But I will retaliate, basically. So we gonna bury ours, basically, you gonna bury yours too. That's what it's gonna come down to. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's happening in Chicago. We talking about Oakland. Let's not forget about what's happening in Chicago. The police it's open season on the black man in Chicago, and they getting fed up down there.
Right.
Yeah. So now them niggas are starting to realize, like, well, damn, we run around here. Pardon my English. We run around here shooting each other. You know what I'm saying? And we got all these gang members and whatnot.
Right.
And then you got the police openly killing us. You know what I'm saying? You got your open enemy just shooting you down. So now, where's the real G's at? Okay.
He said, preach, tight that. He said, preach, P. And then Joe Frank said, tell him. And then Joe Frank said, for real. Okay, Eric, what you talking about? You said, where's the pimping?
This is pimping, man. That's big pimping right here.
Game for life.
Yeah, this is a game for life, man. Power, you master the power, man. We give you something you can live with and deal with. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you having problems dealing with your girlfriend, man, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have to send you to Barnes and Noble, man.
Was it how to think like a...
That's how to think like a man. What was that, by Steve Harvey?
Yeah.
Your Barnes and Noble on that book, man.
Right.
For real.
And then Tight Daddy said P for Pharaoh.
Right.
Exactly. Dealing with some true kings, man.
Yeah, man, that's some real shit, man. I mean, that's base. That's the base level of the game, man. For real. And we surpassed that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's there, but it's on a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying? And if you niggas ain't got the rules to the game, you bound to get caught up in, in the traps and the snares they got out here for you.
Right.
Because there ain't no more pimping and pandering, man. It's called human trafficking.
Right.
Okay? You're talking about P. Right. Get out there if you want to. They got something for you.
Yeah, they surely
some
do.
Real P for you.
Right. Some penitentiary.
There you go. Right. That's what it's called.
Get some penitentiary.
With a football number. So it's real, man. This is real life. Man, get you a woman, that you can deal with and live with. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You can handle. Someone on your level.
Yeah, you still have your way.
That's pimping. You know what I'm saying?
Nobody saying you can't have your way.
Talking about pimping, man. Get you a woman that'll listen to you. Some of these niggas can't send these women to the grocery store and she come back with a change, man. She been ran off at the next day. She met at the grocery store, you know what I'm saying? So believe me, man, I know. I know Tight Daddy knows, so shit, we done been through the storm, Yeah, Ken used to kick it with both of them.
Okay.
Kick it with Tight too when he was up here.
Yeah. Okay, dude came back, Eric came back, said the piece for penitentiary with a question mark.
Yeah, but see,
okay.
That's what I mean by he said when you put this game out there, some people ain't gonna be able to comprehend it, they ain't gonna be able to digest it. You you know, like some who's them advanced more
Right,
advanced.
right.
So we can't. It's too much. You know, so yeah, they putting question marks and all types of shit.
Right.
Like, man, what you talking about? It's like you talking a foreign language. Of course, because you ain't on that level yet.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So basically, like he's saying, where's the what do you say? Where's the pimping?
Yeah.
Okay, what does he mean by that? How are you defining pimping?
Right.
Let's go there.
Yeah.
First of all.
Yeah.
You know?
Draft that question. What do you define? And then we can, elaborate, or you can elaborate from that aspect. I guess because you see the King Rychus, you see what do you mean? Do you mean king of pimping? What do you mean?
Right.
King of having
Yeah.
king of
Right.
mastering all different areas of what this life throws at you. I mean, come on. I mean, you gotta draft it up a little better what you're trying to ask, so it could get answered in a fashion that you want it to be answered. Okay, Tight Dad came back and said, yeah, P, I've been nation building. I got 2 little girls plus a little boy. P, nation building.
We got two more babies.
Yeah. That's what Tight Daddy said.
Okay. You've been busy. That's right.
I like how he said that nation building.
That's right.
That's what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly.
You're trying to raise your seeds, because they're going to be the ones ruling this world,
Right.
later on.
Well, I got 3, I'm king of queens, man. I got 3 queens. My youngest, Nefertiti, she just turned 21, a week ago. I'm glad to still be around. I was able to see her, and sit down and build with her. Right, because, when she was younger, I couldn't share this knowledge and that because she couldn't understand.
Right.
Now she's older, I could sit and talk to her, and I was sharing some things, and she just was like, yeah, this is your daddy, this is your father, you are, this is where you come from.
Right.
You are my seed. You feel me? So she's like, wow, no wonder, we're almost like twins. Well, yeah, I'm your father.
Right.
So now you're getting to know me, and, my other 2 daughters, they're 25, and the middle one be 23. She in college. Isis in college now, and doing her thing. So, and that's what it's about. It's about, like you said, nation building. Keeping the family tight.
Right.
Keeping the family right.
He came back and said 3 more.
Right. That's what's up. That's what's up, man. I'm happy for you. Congratulations. That's what's up.
And Joe Frank said, how to be a big old rectangle. So you saying, well, maybe you would elaborate on what was already being, what you were putting down. Joe Frank said, because he was agreeing with what you were saying. So I'm saying he probably just put a statement out there saying how to be a big old rectangle.
Right.
Like, yeah, you understand the streets, but I mean, one day you got to make a transition. And that's what a lot of people want to make it, to be able to be a square, or be able to be called that at some point.
What, he trying to make a transition?
I don't know. He just said how to be a big old square or big old rectangle.
What's that? I mean, what is he saying? I don't get.
Matter of fact, elaborate on that, Joe Frank.
Right.
Because I don't want to be putting words in your mouth.
Exactly. Be a little bit more specific.
Yeah.
Right.
And then Tight Daddy came back and said, good to hear, P.
Yeah, right. Good to hear from you, man. I believe Allah is still God. Always has been, always will be. You're right. Hey, you
Hold on a second. Okay, Joe Frank came back and said, yeah, people think that game is all, but you have to learn how to live with this game to get game. Basically think that,
What game he talking about? Well,
you talking about the P game? Or, I mean...
Right, what game he talking about? Football?
So he came back, he said, so I'm learning how to be bigger than a square.
He's learning how to be bigger than a square. See? And when people use that term, man.
Okay. I'm waiting to hear what you got to say about that. A lot of people got a lot of opinions about that.
Right, I know. When people use that term square, man, that could be positive, that could be negative. Okay? Now, you can use it in a way of saying, like, okay, you're a square because of what? You doing the right thing? You on top of your game, or you on top of,
he said life.
Your duty? Okay, the game of life. Right, but as far as being a square is, you could be on top of your square and just be handling your business. You know what I'm saying? Doing the right thing, whatever, working a good job and staying in school, not being a fool. You on your square. You feel me? You can be off your square and not be on nothing. You know what I'm saying? Be out here being a bum, begging for cigarettes or trying to get some change to get a drink, or you know what I'm saying? Not taking care of your responsibility, not keeping yourself. You can be off your square. You can mean that in that sense. You know what I'm saying? Or you can use it in a negative sense, like, okay, you're a square because you're not doing illegal activities. You feel what I'm saying? As far as how we used to use it in the game, which we did. We said, oh, that nigga's a square because he ain't pimping. He ain't, no gangster. He ain't no Mac. He ain't no hustler. He a square. You feel me? So we could use it in that negative sense. But you could use it in the positive sense, man, and be on your square and handle your function and do the right thing, like Spike Lee.
Okay, he said something. I know you gotta say something about it. Okay, he said life and living. Then he said stay out the way. I know you feel so about that, staying out the way. I know you feel so about that.
Hey, life is too short, man, to be hiding in the house, man. You gotta get out here and see the world, man. I mean, even in my younger years, as being a young man, in my 20s, I was such a hustler, was having money, man. I stayed on the road. When I got bored, I had to go to Atlanta and New York City just to have fun. I've been in New York 10 times, Atlanta, Vegas. Went to Vegas a couple of, it's just like, I ain't trying to stay out the way, but I ain't trying to get in nobody else's way. You know what I'm saying? I ain't not trying to step on no toes, to step on number 2 to become number 1 and none of that.
Right. Now he came back and said that's what they left us.
Right. What they left us.
Because after he said staying out the way, then he came back and said that's what they left us.
That's what who left us? Those that gave up? Who left us?
Yeah, you got to kind of elaborate a little more.
Yeah, they left us what? You talking about the OGs that gave up on the game? Yeah, I hear them. Oh, man, I'm staying out the way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yep. Staying out the way of what? These youngsters?
Yeah, the young dragons done took over.
Yeah, right. These young wolves, I call them young wolves and young bulls run around here because that's all they have is temper wolves and bull hats. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you staying out their way. Nah, I get in their way, man. For real. I'm a lion. I ain't none of that. A lion in the jungle ain't scared of none of that. You feel me? So I ain't staying out. When they see me, and they definitely don't want to hear me roar, you know what I'm saying? Then they really start to shake and move around. You know what I'm saying? So, no, I ain't getting out the way, man, because I'm just living my life. But you live your life to be productive. I'm not trying to live my life to be destructive like I was when I was a younger cat. Because I done did it all. I was gang affiliated, whole associated, pimp dedicated. I did all that, you know what I'm saying? But it's just like now I'm just trying to, live more positive and righteously. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't about all that.
Okay, well now would you saying that someone that is not, I would say, that's not really from your walk of life could come up and say, oh well, he's squaring up, he's scared, you know, went to this, he's saying that because he can't handle any of this now. Like, no, I done been in the trenches before. So what you saying is null and void to what my life it has been.
Exactly, because basically it's like you ain't on my level.
Right.
You ain't on. I'm like you. I ran into some little cats. They like 23, 20 in their 20s basically. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, I got. You know what I'm saying? I'll say it like Type Daddy if he's still on.
Yeah, he's still on there. Yeah.
I say it like Pops used to tell me. Type, I don't know if you remember when me and your Pops used to be in the room debating, and he was telling me he would put up his pinky finger. He said, I got more game in his pinky finger than you got in your whole body. You know what I'm saying? I just used to look at Pops like, damn. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you remember when he used to tell me that. He used to say shit like that. And that's, I find myself using that same philosophy when I see some of these young cats. I said, I got more game in this pinky or in 5 fingers of my hand than you niggas got in your life. You know what I'm saying? Because what you niggas is trying to do, I done did several times, okay? On all levels.
Okay, now that the one dude that came back was talking about the pimp. He said, I thought they talked about the pimp on this broadcast. I must be on the wrong channel.
I don't really want to respond to that, man. That's your broadcast.
You thought they talked about the pimping? Right. I mean, it's some areas that get covered about that, but it ain't. This is not totally about. Okay, this is about pimping. This is about people that done probably live the life.
Who said that?
This dude named Eric Anderson. See, I thought this.
Well,
I thought they talked about pimping on this board. I must be on the wrong channel.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna tell you like this, Eric, man. This is this chess, not checkers, man. For real. That's this game. That's the game we talking about. The chess game. The art of human chess. That's the game we talking about. Not checkers, or what's the other game?
Or I just say not one trick pony. It's
this ain't Twister, man. You know what I'm saying? When you get on that, remember that game, Twister, when you put the mat down.
Now he done came back and said pimping is chess.
That's right. So this game, we talking about, it's the art of human chess. Okay, this ain't just talking about getting no woman, putting her on the street, or putting her in some brothel or none of that. That's just one base level of the game. You know what I'm saying? Now, if that's what you choose to do, that's what you choose to do. I'm not condoning that, and I'm not condemning you for it. That's just what you choose to do.
Right.
That's the level you on. See what I'm saying? I'm just telling you, I'm beyond that. Okay?
Okay, he said, let me hear it then.
Right. Hear what?
I guess he's saying, let me hear the pimping or whatever. What are you talking about?
He sound like a police now.
Yeah.
Like, he sound like an agent.
Yeah.
You feel me? I'll tell you this, man. I'll let you hear some pimping, man. What's the name of that book? This book, Tariq Nasheed.
Oh, yeah.
He got a book called The Art of Macking, man. Go pick it up, man. Go Google it. Go pick it up. Called The Art of Macking. You remember it? That's a good one. There's another one. My man Pimpin' Ken got a book out too, man, called Pimpology, man. You might want to go grab that one too. Now, you don't think that's on pimping, man? I don't know what else to tell you, man. I'm gonna tell you go get your Dr. Seuss book, man. Learn your ABCs and 1, 2, 3s. You feel me?
Okay, now he came back and said the higher level past the higher level past the pimping that y'all are discussing. So yeah, we're speaking beyond that. This is essentially what you're saying. Yeah, that's what we are. We're speaking beyond that. Okay, Joe Frank said a real cop.
Yeah.
Okay. Tight Daddy came back and said art of life. We're on Black Empowerment, P.
That's right.
On all.
I ain't trying to do it
right. Let me see. Matter of fact, I missed some of Tight Daddy's. Let me reread it. He said business is the only way black people gonna build anything. And then he came back and said we gotta build within the system to play the game.
Who's that?
Tight Daddy said that.
Right. That's right. Yep, because you can't play this game, man. You talking about pimping, man. You ain't even got the rules to this shit.
Right.
That's what I'm like.
Matter of fact, that's something you
niggas
have
need to quit playing with this shit,
right.
man. For real, boy. If they don't know how serious this shit is, man. If you know the P's I know throughout the years, cats we know.
Yeah.
That don't got, that's doing 10, 20. Man, you wouldn't be talking about no pimping. None of that.
Right.
Okay.
So let's do it like this so it clear up. A lot of these people think that way or ask that kind of stuff because they go on other channels and they hear people promoting that.
Oh, they've been watching too many videos.
Yeah.
They don't gotta go. They gonna be some peas, man. I'm telling you, man, that's some decade-old game, man, for real. Because I talk to Ken personally on a daily basis, and he'll tell you. You know what I'm saying? And Rick know too. Yeah, right. An international player. He's like, man, he'll tell you he wish he never put that shit out if he known it was gonna own us the way it did.
Right.
He said, I would have never even did that if I known it was gonna affect us the way it did. Got us all screwed up.
Then Joe Frank came and said, tell him, get a chip in the game first before you speak.
That's right. Exactly.
Then dude came back and said, I don't read all them books y'all named. Okay. Well, that's
Eric.
Yeah.
Well, if it's game you're trying to get, man, you know what I'm saying, as far as P game, man, if you really try to learn it, you're gonna have those been there, you know what I'm saying, that lived it. You see, if you think it's all sweet and glamorous, you're sadly mistaken, because there's a rough road to that too. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't all glamorous and what you think it is.
Yeah, it's like they got enough out here portraying the sweet, but if anything, we're telling them this is what it really is.
Yeah.
Is that something that you actually want to pursue?
Yeah, because what we're trying to give you, this is the sweet side of it. The niggas that don't survived it.
Right.
Who ain't trying to go out there and catch no felony behind none of that shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm man enough to take my own responsibilities, not to send some woman to do my dirty work. You feel me? If that's the case, I'm gonna be man enough to go handle mine and get mine. You know what I'm saying? And then if I got a woman that's with me, I'm gonna be man enough to respect that woman as my woman. You know what I'm saying? Whatever the hell she do, she do. You know what I'm saying? I just hope she's doing the right thing too. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, Eric came back and said, I don't need no game. I just thought this was a channel. This channel was about, and I never said the game was sweet. Tight Daddy said R.I.P. Maroy. And then Anthony English said, especially not online. About, talking about that particular stuff, about the... Right. Because everybody's listening. Ain't just one person listening. There's all kind of people listening.
What's his point? What was that, Eric?
Which
one said he didn't need no game?
Yeah. He's the one that said, I don't need no game.
I ain't the one that was asking about it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Anthony said, got loved ones doing numbers. Exactly. Right. Over some old misguided stuff.
Exactly.
Like I said, there's a lot of you don't have to come to this channel for that. I mean, you're not forced to listen. I mean, it's other people out there, professing that, and you go listen to them. We talking about, like you said, Tight Daddy said, nation building. How to guide your seeds, if you got seeds, or if you got a nephew that ain't got no daddy in their life because they locked up doing time.
Oh, you got a lot of youngsters out here, man, that don't have guidance. You know what I'm saying? Around the place I live, I find myself giving little kids guidance. Being like a guardian, to them. If their parents ain't telling them, the right thing or to do the right, you gotta step to them and be like, hey, don't do that if they doing something that's out of pocket. We don't have people in our community and stuff that's not right. Our people are, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Joe Frank said, stop talking. Like,
I already said that.
He's off.
Yeah, he on something.
Like, wait a minute, they talking about black army. I gotta throw a monkey wrench up in here.
That ain't what I'm talking here. I want to talk about some shit, I could catch a case.
Right.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Huh.
But it's all good, man.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. We've been on 89 minutes, and we done had we done dived in some good areas of topic. I think a lot of things you can replay this, and wait a minute, Eric. Why you delete your comments? That was a trolling move.
You said what?
Anthony English said, Eric, why you delete your comments? That was a trolling move.
Right.
Let me see.
Yeah, the show was talking about some other shit.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, you can hear the replay, and you know, certain areas, you know, what was covered, you know, you research it. If you ain't had enough time to jot it down,
right,
you can go replay and like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna research that for myself. I didn't know about that. Let me go, you know, check into that. You know.
That's right.
That's what I like about these live streams. You know, we get to, you know, hear from y'all when, you know, you ain't talking. Well, I won't say who's in here now, but when people ain't saying nothing sideways, you know. Like, I'm trying to think the last one you was on. What was dude? He kept saying about was he talking about space or something like that?
He was talking about the flat Earth.
Yeah, the flat Earth. Yeah, he was trying to get you with that one.
Right.
Like, man, like you can believe what you want to believe. I believe. I don't know. I guess we'll wrap it up. If ain't nobody got anything else to add to it, we'll wrap this one up. Anthony said, "Great show. Thanks for having us. Most definitely."
Yeah, that's peace, man. I'm glad to be a part of it.
Right.
You know? I know I ain't been around for a while, but I had to slide down on my man and you know share a few words with him.
Right. Share a few words with the world.
Then I ran into you know, got a chance to reconnect with my partner Tight Daddy.
Oh yeah,
you know?
yeah.
So you know he down in Jacksonville, Florida. So so this was a good thing.
Right.
You know? That just goes to show you know, I'm internationally known, man, nationally recognized, and locally accepted. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
For real.
And Anthony came back and said, King Rychus, salute.
Yeah, peace.
All right, I think we about to check out, y'all. Thanks for chiming in on this live stream. We'll be back at you on another one.